Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything Podcast and to a very different type of episode, because I'm going to talk about me today in a life update. Actually, I've not really done one of these before. I just kind of thought that because you kind of hear me like for nearly half an hour every day now, that you probably want to know a bit more about the other bits of my life that aren't podcast on the podcast. So yeah, obviously you know the story of the podcast, or some of you will that have been here from the start. So obviously I started the podcast just over 3 years ago now, and it's gone through various forms. So originally it was it's just as and when, and then about 2 years ago it became daily episodes. Then obviously quite recently it's become 2 episodes a day. So yeah, obviously the podcast has taken many forms. Now within that space of time, actually, I've done my entire university degree, and I've got my graduation in November. So yeah, it was special because it's been two months as of time recorded. I'm recording this episode on the 15th of July 2025, by the way. Yeah, it definitely took a while for me to kind of process all those feelings. And with the podcast as well, having more time for it is just nice, where it wasn't just kind of having to sideline it a little bit. Obviously I've always, between me and Chuck and Matt, who animates all the episodes, we've all tried to kind of find a way so that you've had daily, now 2 episodes a day. Yeah, so there's that side of my life. Obviously I've just talked about university. I've started a new job recently in a supermarket, which is going well. It's not what I'm used to, because I have only worked in schools, being called last minute to cover someone. Something quite different, but it's nice having that kind of knowing exactly when I'm going to work, instead of how it used to be with my old job, where it was, oh, I don't know when I'm working, which then obviously meant that kind of for the podcast and stuff, it was kind of quite difficult to organise things because I didn't know, whereas now I kind of have a better idea. So yeah, what else do I do? Oh, I'm a volunteer. That's the other one. I'm a volunteer for the Scout movement. So if you're interested in that, and that basically is working with children to give them skills, life skills, whether that be cooking or map reading or tying knots or just having fun. It covers all of that. If you want to find out any more about it, if you just type in Scouts and the country that you're living in. So for example, if I was to do it, I'd put Scouts UK. If you're from America, you put Scouts US, for example. So yeah, that's that. And I've been doing that for 7 years in September, which is a long period of time, because I was 14 at that time when I started. as a way to kind of give back, because it helped me a lot when I was younger during various things. So yeah, kind of those are kind of the three big parts of my life now: work, volunteering, and the podcast, obviously. Now, as I've already mentioned, the podcast is it's gone through various stages, and obviously due to time commitments throughout that time, it's become kind of, sometimes it's been like, where am I going to squeeze them all in? But as of late, it's been kind of, what do I mean? It's been kind of it's just been nice to kind of have that time to breathe, because I'd recorded so many episodes, and you've heard these in previous episodes, because I've spoken about it before, that kind of, that I didn't know when I was recording some of the episodes that they were going to release 2 on the same day. Obviously, me and Matt made that decision a little bit later on. So yeah, like we're heading towards the end of that big, the big load that I'd recorded. So we're kind of now entering. So there should be a smaller gap between when something releases and when something. When the recap comes up, is what I mean. So, for example, like the 13th Doctor Adventures Vampire Weekend, that released on the 3rd of July. That should be coming out by the end of July at the absolute latest. It'll be coming out probably in the next week or so. Definitely, I would say. Yeah, so like for that, but it does it means that because I'm obviously having to think now about, okay, instead of 7, so obviously in the old days, where it would be 1 episode a day, I'd have to kind of go, okay, 14 episodes, that's 2 weeks. Now that isn't the case. It's obviously for a week, so it's kind of that. But I do enjoy doing it. So just some of the stuff that you can expect over the next few days. Definitely within the next week. So we're going to have my recap of Dark Gallifrey Master Part 1, my summary of the Neighbours episodes released between the 7th and the 10th of July 2025, my recap of the Big Finish podcast episode titled Matter Alive, 2 recaps of some Clarkson's Farm episodes, and Clarkson's Farm was one of the suggestions, that's why I'm doing them. A recap of an 11th Doctor Chronicles episode, which you all seem to have enjoyed them so far. As of time of recording, there is still 2 to release. As of time, but obviously that's because I recorded them a while ago. And then you've got 1 and a few How I Met Your Mother recaps, which similarly are doing quite well. So thank you for that. But yeah, we're back to kind of, in the next episode, we're back to kind of normal episodes, and not kind of, I'm not going to be doing a life update every day or anything, but I want to do it every month or so, I think. But actually, on the volunteering point, I should have mentioned it earlier, that kind of if there's any charities or causes or anything you want me to mention in any episode, please just put it in the comments, and I would be more than happy to do that. But before I go, just a reminder that there, as I've mentioned a few times in this episode, there are 2 episodes a day now. So the first episode releases at 11 AM GMT, and the second episode releases at 3 PM GMT. So that's just a reminder, if you kind of the first episode is coming out later than it used to, but obviously you now get 2, so it's being spread out, so that's why. But yeah, that's it, and I will see you in a future episode of the podcast, and let me know what you thought of my live update my July 2025 live update, and I will see you in the next episode of the podcast. Goodbye.